Hey VCers, thanks for dropping into my channel. Tony here. We're going to do a little segment on this record, Let It Be Naked, which was the naked of this record. It's stripped down from the fill, orchestrations and mixes and all that good stuff. Paul was never happy with this. I think John was happy with it. Not sure about George the Quiet Beatle, but Ringo once said, when I heard it, I didn't puke, so I don't know what that means. But anyway, we're going to do a little segment on the Let It Be Naked. And the reason for this video is I want to put it out there that this record needs to be repressed. This came out in 2003. So it's approximately 21 years old, 22 years old, whatever. It was actually released on the 17th of November, right before Christmas. It was probably retailing for about 35 bucks. I paid 50 for mine. I still have the receipt here. Trying to keep good records. I bought it on December 16th, 2014. I was lucky to find a copy. I think this thing has been out of print for years. And the reason I'm doing this video is I just saw something online where people are going through record stores and they're looking at Beatles stuff, and it could have been a YouTube channel, it could have been just a feed from Facebook, but this record's going where upwards of $300 to $400 for to buy this in a used record shop, and that's crazy. So why can't we repress it? We're repressing everything else. We don't really need to, in my opinion, another American Beauty, which was just released by Rhino. That's been repressed a million times. This has never been repressed. This is it. And I'll show you what the original is. This is the original, the only one. I think it's still available on import on CD. But of course, the vinyl purist, the aficionado, who likes to keep, who maybe is a completist, may not have this because they're too pricey right now. And that's a negative of the Let It Be cover. You can see there. I believe it's the same order, and there's also a 7-inch, as you can see there, Fly on the Wall, which is some chatter with the lads talking about stuff. It's pretty cool. And there's inside the gatefold, great stuff with the rooftop session, different from the original. There's the nice thick spine. And as I said, I paid $50 for it from alternativemusic.com. Not sure if they're still around, but that was in 2014. And I love this record. I actually picked up a couple at the time. One for a Christmas present to Big John, my protege. And what I'm going to do is just, I'll show you the vinyl later. I'll show you the 7-inch now. Oh, and this also comes with a great booklet, which I'll open up here for you. Just want to be careful. This is mint. Like I said, I take care of my stuff. It's in plastic. The book is worth the $30 or $40 that I paid at the time, $50 I paid at the time. You can see it's a heavy, glossy paper. And in the tradition of Beatle reissues, although this wasn't a reissue, it was considered a new record because it was a remix of the original sessions. But this really needs to have a repress. Here's the 7-inch, which is nice because it comes with a nice picture sleeve. And this has on it Conversation, Sun King, Don't Let Me Down Conversation, One After 909 Conversation, Because I Knew You Loved Me So Conversation, Side 2, She Came In Through the Bathroom Window Conversation, Get Back Conversation, Get Back Conversation again. So it has a number of tracks on it. I believe it's a pretty long, I'm not sure of the time, but it runs on quite a bit. And this is a beautiful reproduction of the cover. And here we have as you can see, the inner is the English cut inner. And there's the actual record. One album, just the redo of this classic Let It Be, 1969 era. And I'm just going to go over quickly. Here's the original, which we all have and love. Believe it or not, that was actually a cut at it. It has a cut corner. But I'm just going to read something off of Wikipedia about this record. For folks out there who don't know about it, a lot of people are into the Beatles again. The Beatles just had a #1 song, as did the Stones. And the Beatles are just, I call them a miracle of everything. Even in the movies, they were fantastic. But here it says, Let It Be Naked is an alternative mix of the Beatles' 1970 album, Let It Be, released on 17 November 2003 by Apple Records. The project was initiated by Sir Paul McCartney, who felt that the original album's producer, Phil Spector, did not capture the group's stripped-down, live-to-tape aesthetic intended for this album. Naked consists largely of newly mixed versions of the Let It Be tracks, while omitting the excerpts of incidental studio chatter and most of Phil Spector's embellishments. It also omits 2 tracks from the 1970 release Dig It and Maggie May, replacing them with Don't Let Me Down, which was the non-album B-side, and Get Back single. So that's cool. So there it clears up what I just misappropriated earlier. The tracks are different. Like I said, I haven't pulled this out in years, but I just reviewed online, like going through records, that the record now is going for upward of $300 plus, on walls and record stores, and that's plus tax. I'm just going to go over the tracks really quickly. Track by track details. Get Back, a remix of the track recorded on 27 January 1969, used for both the single and album, without the coda recorded on January 28, featured in the single version of Framing Dialogue from the studio and rooftop concert added to the album version. Dig a Pony, remix of the take from the rooftop concert on January 30, 69, Framing Dialogue and False Start removed, error in second chorus, the Because in Lennon's vocal track digitally corrected. For You Blue, a remix of the 25 January 1969 used take on the album, including Harrison's re-recorded lead vocal from January 8, 1970, and reinstating the rhythm guitar Framing Dialogue removed. All cool stuff, and if you hear this record, it just sounds phenomenal. Of course, I love the original, but this just opened up some some questions that what would it have sounded like had Phil not got involved in the production. The Long and Winding Road, the final take recorded on January 31st, 69, instead of the album take from January 26th, 1969, previously unreleased. Two of us. Here's the booklet again. Two of Us, a remix of the take recorded on January 31st, 1969, used on the album Framing Dialogue, removed, minor error in Lennon's acoustic guitar, performed digitally corrected. I've Got a Feeling, a composite edit of the 2 takes from the rooftop concert. One After 909, which is one of my favorite records, a remix of the take from the rooftop concert, improv rendition of Danny Boy, removed. Don't Let Me Down. They don't have to send royalties on this record to the Danny Boy estate. Don't Let Me Down, a composite edit of 2 takes from the rooftop concert previously not released. I Me Mine, a remix, slightly different recreation of Spector's edit, which had increased the track length by copy-pasting the second chorus at the end of the track recorded on January 3rd, 1970. Orchestra removed. Guitar overdubs and organ parts mixed in and out to make the repeated verse sound different. Across the Universe, a remix of the original version recorded on February 4th, 1968, without speed pitch alteration, sound effects, piano, maracas, and backing vocals, with echo effects unique to this version. Let It Be, A release, Let It Be, a remix of take 27A from January 31st, 1969, used for George Martin's single and Phil Spector's album version, with edit pieces including Harrison's guitar solo from take 27B edited in. So there you have it. Just my quick rant. I think this should be released ASAP. I'm kind of disappointed in a lot of the re-edits, represses, and remastering that are coming out. You know, I'm a big fan of the Doobie Brothers. I'm a big fan of a lot of these jazz records, but they've been reissued and reissued so many times. And I know that for the audiophile, you want to get the best pressing of those albums, such as American Beauty and Candy O and the Cars, and the Rhino represses are just excellent. But I'm just using as my example that there's so many other great records that have fallen out of press, that have been out of print, and this comes to mind. It's been 20 years or so. I'm not sure when it went out of press, out of print, but the record's 21, 22 years old, and definitely deserves a remix. And here's the tracks again on this. So thanks everyone for dropping in. I appreciate that. I appreciate all the subs and likes. We're doing pretty good with the channel. We have over 479 or 459 views on YouTube, and we're really happy about that. But it's all because of you guys out there watching and subbing and liking and all that good stuff, and really appreciate it. So if you haven't subbed, please hit that red button or black button that was on, and keep rocking. Let it be. Thanks a lot. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you think that this deserves a repress. You know, the Beatles have been with us for years. I've got some of my OG copies up top, original Revolver. Well, that Revolver is an Apple Revolver, and they're an original Capitol Sgt. Pepper and Yellow Submarine flip side. So thanks a lot. Keep rocking, and I really appreciate you stopping in today. Peace, as Ringo would say. Ciao.